All right, well, we're going to see what happens today. Let's see, we'll go over here. This is so good.
Leaves of brown came tumbling down, remember that September. Yeah, in the rain, the sun went out, just like a dying ember. That September in the rain. Every word of love I heard you whisper to me. Now the raindrops seem to play a sweet refrain. And then of spring is here, it is still September. That's September and the rain. Come on! Mark always taught me. Jack Kerouac wrote, they went into Anita O'Day's club and there unpacked and played till 9 o'clock in the morning. Dean and I were there with beers. At intermission, we rushed out to the Cadillac and tried to pick up girls all up and down Chicago, but they were frightened of our big scarred prophetic car. In his mad frenzy, Dean backed up and smack on hydrants and tittered maniacally. The car was an utter wreck. The brakes weren't working anymore. The fenders were stove in. The rods were rattling. Dean couldn't stop it at red lights. It kept kicking convulsively over the roadway. It had paid the price of the night. It was a muddy boot and no longer a shiny limousine. No. Whee! The boys were still blowing at Neats. Suddenly, Dean stared into the darkness of a corner beyond the bandstand and said, Sal, God has arrived. I looked. It's George Shearing. And as always, he leaned his blind head on his pale hands, all ears opening like the ears of an elephant, listening for the American sounds and mastering them for his own English summer's night use. Then they urged him to get up and play, and he did. He played innumerable choruses with amazing chords that mounted higher and higher until the sweat splashed all over the piano, and everybody listened in awe and fright. Woo! They let him off the stage after an hour. He went back to his old dark corner, old God Shearing, and Dean said, well, there ain't nothing left after that. But the leader frowned. Let's blow anyway. Something would come of it. There's always more. A little further. It never ends. They tried hard to find new phrases after Shearing's explorations. They writhed and twisted and blew. Every now and then, a new harmonic tune gave new suggestions of a tune that would one day be the only tune in the world and would raise men's souls to joy. They found it. They lost it. They found it. They lost it. They laughed. They moaned. They sweated. And Dean sweated at the table and told him to go, 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 go. At 9 o'clock in the morning, everybody, musicians, bartenders, chicks in slacks, and the one little skinny, unhappy trombone player staggered out of the club and into the great roar of the Chicago day to sleep until the wild bop night again. Bridge, hot, hometown. Every word of love I heard you whisper to me. All the raindrops seem to play a sweet refrain. And the spring is here to me. It is still September. That's September. And the rain. Take a bus here. That's a course.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, what's happening, Ann and Bertie Wooster? Is my microphone working? I'm wondering. Do you hear me? I'm guessing you do. You should. I'm showing levels over here. But it's been a while. It's been a minute. Let's see. I can move this over here. Mike is good. Okay. Thank you, Bertie Wooster. What's happening, Ann? Hello from Southeast Pennsylvania, and Bertie Wooster, wherever in the world you are. I'm pretending like I don't know. I'm not doxing anyone, folks. My name is Dallas. It says right there. There we go. This is so hard to do. It's backwards and in reverse. And this is my live stream about accordion stuff that I do every week, except for the weeks that I don't do it, which has been many lately due to various life things. Some fun, some not fun. But I'm here and I'm healthy, I think, knock on wood. I joined the local YMCA. That's pretty cool. I got my septum pierced, which is something that I got excited about last month. And then I decided I wouldn't do until I got back home here to Pennsylvania. So I got that done, and that's going to keep me out of the YMCA pool until it's fully healed. I'm not sure, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. Bayonne, New Jersey. That's what I'm talking about. Represent. So I grew up with Jessie Elleger, who's no longer around. She was like an honorary grandmother to me. She was a Mensa member and a professional, not a professional, an amateur curmudgeon, or a misanthrope is more like it. But she's an important personality that raised me, a very opinionated, outspoken woman who lived through the Great Depression, and I learned a lot about the Great Depression from her. And I believe something like the Great Depression happened, and then the day after her dad fell off a ladder and broke his back or something like that. And she told me about having rock fights. I think she lost the hearing in her ear from a brick being thrown at her because kids would throw rocks at each other back in the back in the day. Anyway, there's a lot of great things going on in Bayonne, New Jersey. I think Sinatra's from Bayonne, New Jersey, right? Bayonne. It's right across the river from New York City, if you're not familiar. And I'm broadcasting live from Southeast Pennsylvania as well. And I talk on the internet for about 2 hours every week. There's an important thing that I want to say at the top of this, and I'm not going to get political at all, even though we're living in such weird times. But I'm going to say this is an anti-racist, anti-white supremacist podcast, or live stream, I should say. We accept everybody. Now, I don't care where you're from. We love all the cultures of the world, that are kind and good. We are an anti-war live stream, and we're very inclusive of all LGBTQ plus people here on this live stream. And that's just how it is, folks. And if you belong to any of those communities or you're down with that, welcome here. I want you to make sure, because I think now more than ever, we need to connect with each other and, at the very least, put the word out. So that's all I'm going to say about that for today. But welcome. I hope everybody is happy and healthy. We're having beautiful spring weather. We're supposed to get some rain this week. But it's just that great kind of weather where you still got the feeling of summer during the day, but at night it's cooling down, so you get that awesome sleep, which is sometimes hard to get in both in the winter and the summer. I opened up the live stream today with a really fun video that I enjoyed a lot of the great Kurt Elling, who's a vocalist from Chicago and a friend of my friend, Heather, who I stayed with on my trip to Chicago. And we were talking about Kurt because she knows Kurt and she's a friend of Kurt's. But Kurt was on the great Emmett Cohen's, Emmett's House, I think it's called. We just watched Emmett is the Pianist. And I mean, if you want like a 101 or like a textbook on how to be just amazing as a vocalist in a jazz group, there's a way to do it, and how cool. It kicked down, the sax took the solo, piano took the solo, and then it kicked down to just walking bass. And then you had Kurt Elling reciting this thing. I was trying to look it up. Is it from On the Road? Yeah, I guess this is from On the Road. Sorry, here, let me show again over here. So apparently what Kurt Elling was reciting was a cool passage from On the Road, which is just so cool. And he had like a regular gig in Chicago at a very famous jazz club that I went to on my trip there called the Green Mill, which if you've been to Chicago, you certainly know about it. This is my first like real trip to hang out in Chicago. I'd only ever been there once before. Another time I flew in and bust out. That doesn't even count. But what a great city! You know, the third city I think they're called, or the second city. They call it the second city. They're really the third city. Sorry, Chicago, but LA's got you beat nowadays. Anyways, on today's podcast, or I keep calling it a podcast. That's because I'm in the works to start a podcast for this whole thing. And I'm thinking like how fun this is to do with guests. And this format is kind of ephemeral. Like it comes and it goes. I do it. Sometimes I prepare. A lot of times I don't prepare very much. I'm here. You guys are tuning in. And then it's gone. And if I don't kind of chop up little segments, which is kind of laborious, then it's just kind of gone forever, especially the way YouTube kind of hides it under this live tab and it doesn't even come up usually when you search. So I'm thinking about a podcast because I want to do one. I love the medium of radio. I always have. My dad had given me his stereo when I was a kid, and it was hooked up to the big TV antennas. Remember those gigantic television antennas that were on coming out of the roof of your house? It was like huge. It was like probably like 6 feet across or even more. And he hooked that up with a coaxial cable to the radio tuner of his old Pioneer tube amp that I wish I had, man. Anyways, and in our small town in the California desert, I got radio from the local areas, the high desert, the low desert, Coachella Valley, Morongo Basin. And also I got radio from LA and I got radio from San Diego. And that's pretty far away. That's like 3 hours each way. And that was just so cool. And I listened to lots and lots of talk radio, which is maybe why I'm here, today doing this live stream thing. Okay, so let's see, more music stuff. So I did not do the live stream last week, and I apologize if you were tuning in for the subject because you were excited about it. I didn't even send an email. I got home, I was exhausted, and I also got like a head cold kind of thing, and I just kind of peaced out. So apologies to that. Some stuff happened. Hermeto Pascoal passed away, which I'd love to watch some videos of Hermeto playing music, especially on the accordion or sanfona. And I got back from a really fun tour of the Midwest, which I did live stream from Chicago with Bill Giardini as a guest. So you guys caught that one 2 weeks ago, and that was like right smack in the middle of my performances. I had done 4 performances in Michigan, 1 house concert, and 3 other concerts, and I have a little bit of video of one of the concerts. So this is a nice segue to pull that up. Let's see. That should be up here on QuickTime. Yeah, okay. So these are just short clips because somebody sent them to me. This was a band. This is with a band called Third Coast Swing, led by a guitarist named Stephen Plummer. And it was a pretty large band for them. And this is a very short clip. It's like 30 seconds from the gig at the Wheatland Festival, which is a very large folk festival that reminds me quite a bit of the Philadelphia Folk Festival, which is outside Philadelphia by about an hour in Schnecksville. Not Schnecksville. It's in Schwanksville. Sorry. Schnecksville is where Becky's Drive-In is, which is the oldest still running, operating drive-in movie theater in the United States, and it's right just about half an hour from where I live. Pretty fun. And we have also another old one called Shankweiler's. Anyways, okay. Add scene. Hang on, you guys. It's been a minute since I have done this. Share. Oh, I know what I need to do. Okay. 1 moment. I need to stop this and then start it on this. Okay, so here's one of them. These are 2 different tunes, just to give you a little like slice of life. So this is the gig was the swing dance for this folk festival, and that was really cool. So here's a little bit of this great band. Steven's over here on the right with the hat, and his brother's over here on the guitar, and Ella is the vocalist, although you won't hear her sing. And I'm not going to name everybody in the band. And I'm guessing the tune was "I Found a New Baby." That is my guess as far as what tune that was. And now I'll play another one, which is got like a little Latin beat, which is pretty fun. And hopefully this is the right one because I wasn't looking at the file names. Nope. Sorry, not that one. Not 4043. We need 4047 or whatever that other one is. So, okay, yeah, 4037. Here we go. This one, just another one of me just taking a little solo. What? What's going on? Hang on. Oh, okay, now you see it. All right. Okay, so the solo is just over those little changes. But that was one of the really fun gigs of many with Steven and his band, Third Coast Swing. I want to show you some other stuff too. So when you last saw me on this, what do you call it? On this live stream, I was in Chicago, and that was in between. I had a great time. I got to, I'll tell you about some other fun stuff before we get into other things. Before we get into Hermeto, and then we'll get into Pennsylvania Polka Minor. So let's see. Yeah, so that was that. And then I was in Chicago. And in Chicago, I may as well do this chronologically. So in Chicago, I stayed with a great friend who's an accordion player, and amongst other things. And I saw some accordion students and some friends. I saw Bill. We did the live stream. I saw the great Jimmy Keane, who's a wonderful Irish accordion player that's like not my genre of expertise, but I certainly love it. And we've checked out various stuff. I really want to do a few episodes on it. Maybe I'll ask Jimmy if he would ever want to be a guest on that, if that sounds fun to him. But it was an Irish session at a little Irish pub. And that was really cool. I don't play any of the tunes, so I didn't even bring my accordion, but I went with a gaggle of other accordion players that are friends of mine. And we went out and just kind of dug it. And I had some Malort booze, alcohol, which is like a Chicago weird kind of thing. It tastes like turpentine. And that was my first time having that. And also, I took a lesson from Donovan Mixon. And I want to show you guys. So Donovan's book is right here. This is a book that I'm super into. And my friend and student Heather, she bought this because she met Donovan in the city in Chicago and took his workshop. And this book is amazing. It's from a pretty famous Advanced Music is the name of the publisher, which is just a fantastic publisher of I know them for printing like jazz materials. They print a lot of stuff that they use, textbooks that they use to teach at Berklee School of Music in Boston. It was really cool. I have been doing the program. This book is really cool. It comes with 2 CDs. You definitely need to listen to them. I highly recommend this. It doesn't start at like step 0, I would say. And I'm gonna try to like keep working on that. And then I think I'm gonna start up some sort of ear training and music theory class using solfege. And this system is so cool. He has you, right at the beginning, he has you just singing bass lines. So you start with singing roots. And one of the differences is the way I had been doing it is like, let's see, if we take a tune like, let's say I Found a New Baby. And let's say, oh, that's do, and I'll sing a minor scale using solfege. Do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. do. The way I was doing my system is that I would sing 1 and 2, 5, 1. Zip up, put it, bum, put it, bum, bum, ba-da-da-dum, da, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. So I found a new baby. I don't know that I'm in D. Let me find D. There's D. So a lot of times that gets played instrumentally in the key of D in Django music. I don't know what other people do it in, but we often play that in D. And it goes between two key centers, the key of D minor and the key of F major. So the A section, it's an AABA form. And then so all of that's in the key of the 1. That cadence is in the key of the flat 3 major. So it would be like in the key of D minor, it would be F major. And the way that I had been doing it before I got into Donovan's book is I would be saying 1, 1, 1, 1, and then I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, but then that becomes the 2. So 2 in the key of 3, 5 in the key of 3, 1 in the key of 3, 2 in the key of 1, 5 in the key of 1, 1 in the key of 1. So this really relative set of numbers that if you haven't done this, it's probably maybe doesn't make any sense to you. If you have done it, then you know what I'm talking about. And I still do that. That's still really important, and that preserves these. That really, like, you've got multiple 2 5s, which are the same interval. Like from the distance from the 2 to the 5 is always a perfect fourth if you're going up, and the distance from the 5 to the 1 is also always a perfect fifth if you sing it down. It's always the same, and it really helps to be singing 2 5 1 2 5 1 2 5 1. Where it gets a little weird is, and it's a struggle that I had, is like losing myself in the various key centers. So if it's like a more complex key center, like you're moving to the flat 3 or something like that, let's see, C'est si bon, I think moves to the key of the flat 3, if I'm not mistaken, on the bridge, and then it goes to the key of the 5, I think, and then it goes back to the key of the 1. You can get a little disoriented and kind of like lose where you are that way. Whereas Donovan's system is as long as a tune is like mostly in the key, or the majority of it is in one key, you're gonna call the whole thing. You're gonna use solfege for all of it. Say do, 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 fa, te, me, re, sol, do. Do, fa, te, me, re, sol, 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 do, fa, fa, fa. So anyway, that's one like explicit difference, and it's really cool because it solves the problem of knowing where you are in this, like, sometimes very chromatically moving key centers. So because you're always labeling it as fixed to a do, even if you're in a key center that's like very chromatic, it's much easier to hear the do again, just because you're calling something a lay or a te or a fi or a ra or whatever. And so that's really cool. That's just one kind of approach change, like built into his system, that I think is very helpful. Very, very helpful. I don't think it would be helpful. I don't think that's something that a beginner would immediately notice. But going forward a few more steps, that's certainly a challenge that I had, and I can immediately see it paying off dividends. There's a lot of other really cool stuff that he has you do in there, which is a lot about singing. He calls them tendency tones. So there are these really cool exercises which are relatively simple, but it's designed and it's working on me already. It's making big improvements, where you sing the chord tones, the root, the third, and the fifth. So let's say we're in a major key. That might be F, is it? I drifted down a half step. Bum ba. Let's say. So I sing do, and then I'm gonna sing do, mi, sol, mi, do. So that's the root, the third, and the fifth, which we call the chord tones in jazz. And you do this practice where you practice just singing tendency tones, tensions against them, and resolving. So the do, ti, do, and then up, re, do. Okay, I did that. Do, mi. So now I'm on the third of the chord. Mi, me, mi, fa, mi, and sol, fi, sol, a half step below the fifth, and la, sol, a whole step above the fifth. La, sol, fi, sol. And then you give yourself different starting notes on your instrument, and you play along, and you also work to start on different notes, like so not just always the root. So you work to start on the third, or on the fifth, or on the tension note, and that is all just super important stuff for so much music. I mean, not just jazz, like Baroque music, the music of Beethoven and Mozart. All these things use very similar harmonic and melodic language, and these tensions and the way things resolve and all that sort of stuff. And it's really fun. And so I had been working. There's probably like a couple weeks where I worked really hard in California on the book, and then I set the book aside and just went bananas working on the house. And then I didn't touch it really. I kind of brushed it up a little bit. Had a lesson with Donovan in person at his house in Chicago. Super nice guy. Really great to be just kind of around this like kind of vibe, like his aura of just jazz excellentness, and a very super nice guy, a wonderful communicator. He described, he was talking about like your ear getting better, and he was like, we're kind of, you're getting, a metaphor that he used that I liked a lot is like, it's like he had a picture. I forget what the picture was, but it was like a painting on the wall of his studio, and he said, it's like the more your ear works, the more you can pick out all the different greens and all the different blues and all the different reds. Kind of developing the ear to hear more, like the eye can see such wide variety. So this book is awesome. It's called Performance Ear Training. I highly recommend it if you're wanting to, work on jazz standards, work on your ear. It's very jazz oriented. Donovan was on the faculty at the Berklee School of Music in the ear training department there. I don't think he's still on faculty there, and I have no idea why. But regardless, he's wonderful. Okay, so that was some of my Chicago adventures, and then after that, I went to Madison, Wisconsin, where I stayed in the house very generously. Was able to stay with another accordionist in Madison, wonderful guy, and then I did 2 nights of festival with the band that organizes the festival called the Harmonious Whale. And I didn't take any video. I was looking for video before we started. I couldn't find any, but I do have other video to show, which is very cool. So I met Jimmy Grant there, who I'd heard of, and I'm not sure if we have ever met each other before. Try to find the video here. He is from California originally, and I've heard his name a whole bunch, but just never met him. And so let's see. And so this is really cool. So he was there. There was like a little dinner with some of the artists that were there. First, the great Paulus Schaefer from the Netherlands was there, and the great Tim Kliphouse on violin was there. And Jimmy was playing with the 2 of those guys, so they showed up at about the same time that I did, and we all went out to dinner with the organizers, Maggie and Sims, and then I was had sat next to Jimmy and was getting to know him. We're around the same age, and we're both Americans playing this stuff. And so, anyways, we were talking about musettes and stuff, and then on Saturday, I think it was Saturday at the festival, maybe it was Sunday. We just kind of found each other at the festival this year was held at this park. Let me make myself a little larger here. It was held at this park, beautiful park, very mosquito-y. But I guess that's normal for Wisconsin. I'm going to have a little seltzer. And this beautiful park. And then we're just talking about musettes, and he knows the changes to a bunch of these musettes that I know, especially the ones that are more jazzy and more swingy. And so we just started playing, and he plays the accompaniment so great. And we played through a few, and he's like, hey, do you mind if I record these? Because I'm making this tour vlog. And he has a wonderful channel. I'll show you the channel real quick so you can see. If you're interested, Jimmy Grant, Gypsy Jazz Manouche. He lives over in Europe. Go to his videos. He's got a bunch of great videos of him playing with playing a tune by Fappy. I haven't looked at all these, so you got to check these out. But hanging with Yosho, Stefan, and Sven, and Eva Slongo, and just all these cats. Here's a backing track for Indifference. Anyways, it's wonderful, and it's not often that you find people who play, in my opinion, who play the accompaniment on guitar well and informed. Getting the chord shapes and playing the correct time that's a challenge in and of itself. But then to be informed by what other things to do, like we were talking about how most guitarists don't know that the thing is, in addition to just play boom chick chick boom chick chick boom, right? There's all these beautiful bass lines and this slower, longer counter melody that's going on usually in the lead guitar on the Musette records. If you listen closely, that's the other thing that's happening underneath the accordion melody. So anyways, beautiful, and he had all these great changes, meaning chord changes and stuff, and some fun things that I hadn't heard before that worked beautifully. And so here we are playing Swing Valse. This is maybe the second time we're playing it together, and he just turned on the video recorder. So here this is.
Not a bad idea.
And this is under the little pavilion. The toilets are just to our left. The building, we've all been to a public park before, the building. But it's just beautiful weather, no rain. That's not true. It did rain that night, but not during the day.
Air is perfect.
You know what's not perfect though? Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
As soon as
We're talking about the mosquitoes, which were a drag, a real drag.
It's still getting bitten.
You're getting bitten?
Still. We decided that she's a mosquito first. She didn't get bitten last night.
I had one bite.
It's your blood. Apparently some people's blood is less tasty.
Yeah, they don't go for some
mosquitoes.
That's because you don't drink. What do you want to play?
That's nice.
Do you want to do Swing Valse for the... Yeah, that's better. That's better. Yeah, let's do that.
Do you want to take a lead on it or no?
No. All right. Next time I see you, I'll learn a whole variation of it. I just like to be honorable to the original,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 1, 2, 3. Oh. I think I forgot the melody there for a second. So here I'm taking a whole improvised melody over the chords.
Oh, my hair. Simply like that.
We can do a better take than that.
We can, yeah. That was a little like.
All right. So that's fun to share. Come back over here. And I got to jam with a bunch of wonderful people there. Some people camped at the event, which is really cool. I wasn't even sure what was going to happen because in previous years, this festival has always been at a farm that is owned by friends of the couple whose band I played in who organized this event. Their names are Sims and Maggie, and the band is called the Harmonious Whale. And those friends sold the farm, literally. I mean, they're still alive. Not in the metaphorical colloquialism use of that, but I guess that's bought the farm, isn't it? Anyways, they're still alive, but they don't have the barn or the farm anymore. So they had to find a new venue, and I wasn't sure if people are going to camp or not, and they did, and it's so cool. Just this kind of music as a form of jazz and swing and improvisation where it's about hanging out, sitting in a circle, and there's a lot like Django and June, which is what happens in Europe. In Belgium, France, Germany, and Netherlands, you hang out and you sit in a circle and go around and take a solo, 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 play the melody, stop, take a drink, and somebody else calls a tune, and you go around again. And that's what happens here. And it's not a camp where you learn. It's just a festival where people play and hang out. And that was really fun. So that is the report. What's coming? Well, I'm settling back into life here in Pennsylvania, and I won't be interrupted by having to deal with my father's estate anymore, although my sister needs some help still. So there's definitely going to be at least a week where I'll be out there back in California helping her, but it should not be to the degree that it was. So I'm really excited, and I'm fairly certain that the next group class that I offer, not the next one, but a group class which I wanted to do like literally 1 year ago, is this group class on jazz chords and harmony. And maybe it's more than a year ago. Maybe it's like 2 years ago now. It might be. But basically, I'm going to do that at the beginning of January. And that'll be really, really cool. And that will share all the stuff that I know with you guys and we'll go through all this stuff. We'll do ear training. We'll do all these chord shapes and stuff. And it'll be applied in this really wonderful, progressive way. I'm excited about that. Working on Christmas tunes and holiday music is a big hit. So I want to try to get some sort of maybe small, like a shorter group class for that stuff in December, because I think that is fun and it's, that you can get in, you can get some, get the holiday cheer, work on stuff, and I don't know what for October. Probably nothing for October because it's just too soon. But maybe there are these small group jazz classes that I've been doing that I want to extend out. So I have a group of I think like three or four accordion players for one of the small groups that I want to bring back. I just want to make sure that works, and I might offer some other ones. The other things that I'm going to get going definitely on October is if you're, I'm going to start getting more content on the courses site, which if you're a paying member, $20, you get access to all that stuff. So I start adding a lot more stuff. And then already I do accordion yoga on Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm going to add like an office hours thing. So you get like 15 minutes. So for $20 a month, you could sign up and you get 15 minutes. It's going to be a hard 15 minutes cutoff, but you can get 15 minutes time. Actually, maybe it's 10 minutes. I don't know. I got to think about this. 10 or 15. 10 seems a little short. Maybe it's 15 minutes until I have too many people signing up and then it becomes 10. But anyways, a little bit extra stuff. So if you have any questions for me at all, if you're working on stuff on the site and you just want to play something or you want to ask me some questions, you'll have that too. And then I'm thinking of starting up this group, solfege and harmony class, which would be doing similar things to what I was singing, beginning right at the very beginning. I have taught a theory and musicianship class in the past. It's been quite a few years, maybe 10 years since I did that, but that was really cool. This will be even better because I know more, because I know a better way that's going to be better. It's going to be like basically all singing based, and it's not about you having a great voice or being a professional singer. It's about the utility, the great learning that comes from singing, and the just deep understanding that comes from singing melodies and harmonies, root movements, and that sort of stuff, in addition to playing them in multiple keys. That just makes the whole language of music really become so understandable and understood, I guess is the word. So that's coming also, and I think that will probably be in these little sections. And I'm thinking with both the accordion yoga stuff and this pedagogy for the new solfege and music theory class, it's going to be structured around like skills to do. Like with the accordion yoga class, I want to start having some like graded sort of kind of like test material, not to stress anybody out, but like, can you make a crescendo? Can you make a phrase crescendo? Can you make a phrase crescendo and decrescendo? Can you play this melody with all legato articulation? Can you play this same melody with staccato aggressive, using some of the cinema ideas and that sort of stuff. So that's sort of where my courses are going right now. And as far as thinking from today through January, that's about it. Is the next big group class I think is going to happen in January. Smaller group class in December. We have November too. Yeah. Okay. I could definitely do a small jazz class in November. So I'll probably get that going and let you guys know. And then the podcast, which I think is going to be really fun. I just look at my life, and I have this platform with this audience, and then also I have this wonderful life where I get to hang out with all these other wonderful musicians, professional, semi-professional, other artists and stuff, and I think that would be a really fun platform to get going. Fun for me, and I think fun for to create content, right? Everybody else has a podcast. So that's all in the works. In fact, I had a meeting with a designer last Friday to talk about like these things and see if she could help me, because I'm just a terrible designer. I'm just bad at visual stuff. I'm bad at choosing my clothes. I'm bad at decorating. I'm terrible at like house design. I hate all that stuff. Not my thing. I like more sound. Anyways, okay, so that's kind of the future. One more thing, which is very exciting, is just earlier today, about an hour before this live stream started, we had a meeting for Cinema USA, which is Jacques Mornay and Natalie Bouchek's. They have Cinema, Centre National and International Music and Accordion, something like that. Yeah. Jacques Mornay. Anyway, it's Jacques Mornay's and Natalie Bouchek's school in France. They're amazing teachers. They have so much to teach us. And it seems very, very likely that we will be able to arrange, especially the organizer, Kayla, who does all of the everything, although we're trying to help her more. But for early May in 2026. So next year in New Orleans, early May. It's not totally finalized yet, but you can go to, here. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. You can go to cinemausa.com. cinemausa.com. And I just put this little top of the page thing. So there are no real details yet, except for, early May. But if you're not on the email list, put yourself on the email list, and that's the best way to stay on top of any developments on that. Cool. All right, so that's what I have to tell you guys right now. Before we get into Pennsylvania Polka in a minor key, which was supposed to be part of Polka Month, which I just wasn't able to do due to all that other stuff, but it's still we're still gonna do it. We're gonna do Pennsylvania Polka in a minor key today, and then next week we're gonna talk about bellow shakes. I think that's what's on my schedule, And then I'm probably going to go back to, like, I got a lot of people that were interested in left-hand stuff. So I think definitely sometime in October, I will be doing the left-hand one. I want to do such a good job on it because I know people, I know it's going to be a big hit. So I want to make sure that I don't like half-ass it or I don't, yeah, basically that's it. Anyways, and some of the other cool topics that I had for August that did not happen. Anyways, okay, so now why don't we check out Hermeto Pascoal? So Hermeto, he was an amazing musician. I know there's a quote from like, let's see, he was 89. He passed away on September 13th, and today is the 23rd. So he passed away 10 days ago. And he was a multi-instrumentalist. He played a lot of keyboards and a lot of saxophone. He also played a lot of accordion. And being from Brazil, you know, accordion is a big... Let's see, you guys aren't seeing that. I'm in the wrong browser. Sorry. Let me get here. There we go. Okay, that's where I want to be. Being from Brazil, you know, accordion is a very sort of common, normal instrument. It's kind of still like a guitar over there, you know. I don't know a ton about his life, really. And we're not gonna like I'm not gonna like watch a documentary, although they do exist. But what I am gonna do is show you some really cool things of Hermeto and accordion. And let's start with let's start with some fun stuff. So there's one really cool. Okay, so here's a 3-minute. This is called Hermeto Central Park Sanfona. Looks like it's filmed maybe for Japanese television. I'm not sure. Does it say? 1997. It doesn't. I don't know why there's Japanese subtitles along with the English. But filmed, and I haven't listened to this, but Hermeto, one of the, I mean, he worked with Miles Davis and like so many other people. He was like extremely prolific. He'd like never stopped making music, and he's super creative and very playful and fun. I'll show you just lots of examples of, we'll hear great music, but he's not stuck up. He's not stodgy. He's not fancy per se. I don't know other descriptors, but he is just music. Just music came out of him all the time. Let's watch this on a diatonic accordion, I think.
Eu nasci num lugar muito parecido com o Central Park. Eu sou de Lagoa da Canoa, município de Arapiraca, estado de Alagoas, e sou um homem criado com os passarinhos, criado com os sapos, criado com o gado.
Okay, so this seems very much. So he says, "Hey, I'm from Lagoa de Canoa, a municipality of Arapiraca, state of Alagoas. I'm a man raised with birds, raised with frogs, raised with cattle, with oxen, playing along with them." So that's a sample of what, like a bird or a rooster or something that he's pitched and playing on his keyboard. I spent the whole day in the water, afraid of the sun, which was swimming in the forest, so as not to burn me. And then I thought that that I wasn't burning. It would end even if it was ordered, but I was always happy in the woods. Until I was 14, I lived like this. Then I came here. It's something I live because of a case of the increase in love that I have for all this that I'm seeing here.
Faz a hora acontecer porque eu quero dizer. Há muito tempo eu morei nesta terra E todo dia eu vinha estudar aqui no Central Park, Central Park, Central Park. Esse show foi uma coisa emocionante. Olhar, ver as crianças de todas as idades, né?
Look, see the children of all ages, right? Enjoying the sound and not seeing anyone.
Querendo mais, né? Pra gente é uma emoção.
So he's famous as maybe a fusion musician, we might say. Like a lot of his career is kind of in these like jazz fusion bands, Brazilian fusion music with jazz. He worked with Miles Davis.
Grande, né? Também é de tocar com esse som natural que tem no Central Park.
Famous for his inventiveness, amongst other things. Just wonderful musicality. Here's one that's from Vitor Gonçalves' YouTube channel that he posted 18 years ago. I don't know Vitor super well. I mean, we've met a number of times, but never like hung out with him. But I had heard from a friend that he hung out with Hermeto and played with Hermeto. And anyway, I haven't watched this video either, but here's Hermeto on a piano accordion, pardon me.
Se quiser falar. Cansado, não pode fazer tudo.
Uma mão no teclado e outra na folha, né?
É. É quase como se fosse o arco do violino, né? Tecina. Vai embora, né? Vai. É um instrumento rico, né? Eu só não gosto de carregar. Se for que eu tinha preguiça, era quando eu ia pro bar.
Isso aí ele não é.
All right. I'm not sure this, but let's go back to the playlist here. There is a video that I found years ago that I just love, and this has no accordion in it, but it's so fun, so beautiful. It's from a larger like documentary that I haven't watched, Música da Lagoa, from the movie Sinfonio do Alto Ribeira. I don't know what else is in the movie, but this scene is so much fun. Yeah. It's so fun. So fun. All right. Let's watch a couple more Hermetos. So let's see. Some of him playing. So there's really fun. Another really famous Brazilian musician and accordion player is Sivuca. And there's a video of this concert, or I'm not sure what it is, but it's duets with the two of them. Here's Chorinho pra Ele with Hermeto and Sivuca. I think this is the one that they're both on accordion. No, I want to find the one where they're both on accordion. Here we go. Let's check this out. All right. So Hermeto here on a diatonic accordion. Oh, and Courtney in the chat said that he loves that river video too, man. Yeah, that one's so great. Wow. Oh yeah, so cool. So much music. All right. I'm going to pause Hermeto here. And we'll go on to something else to check out of Hermeto. So Hermeto has a number of very famous compositions that get played a lot. They're like, you know, amongst like new standards. One is called Chorinho pra ela. And a choro, you know, in Portuguese, if you add inho, it's like et in French, and it's like ito or ita in Spanish. So it's like a little diminutive, like a cute or a small version of it. So like a chorinho is a small choro. Here's Hermeto. There's the original version. There are so many. This is like such a standard for Brazilian jazz. It's really cool. You probably heard it before, but I'll find Richard Galliano, who is a patron saint of mine. I love Richard. Do we have a live version of him? Maybe. Tango por Claude. I don't know. Well, let's listen to a little of this. I know there's like live versions of him doing this. Oh, here's Bebe. Yeah, so many people playing Tango por Claude, Asa Branca. All right, we'll just check out a little bit of the record version here. And I'll just play a little bit of that because that'll definitely get me a little copyright shaboing in there. But there's another one called Bebe, which is here. But I actually have a little recording of a project that I had playing Brazilian music in Philadelphia called Passarinho, which is means little bird. And this is me and Bryce on the. It looks like a guitar, but he's really playing an octave mandolin that's electrified. So like a 4-string guitar. That's me in the middle with short hair, and that's the great Jim Hamilton, Philadelphia's own, on the right, playing all the percussion at Jim's studio in Germantown. I won't play the whole thing, but... Okay, and that's all of that. That was a really fun project, working with Bryce and Jim, both really superb musicians, fun people. Yeah, I missed that band. Anyway, okay. And let's see, was there a final Hermeto thing to show? I feel like there was. I feel like there's one more Hermeto before we go on to Pennsylvania Polka. What was it? Go over here. Saw that one. We saw that one. We kind of saw all of them. This is... Oh, yeah. Okay, here's Chorinho pra ela by Sivuca. Yeah, okay, let's watch this Sivuca and Hermeto on keyboards, I think, here. On piano? Oh, yeah, this should be good. Playing Chorinho pra ela.
Tudo assim, mês e meio. Passei quase o ano todo viajando pra lá. Agora eu tô muito afim eu também tô sentindo uma falta, rapaz. A gente sente aquela falta de tocar no Brasil, né?
Terra da gente, né?
Então é muito interessante tocar, ficar por aqui, sabe? Mais.
So fun. Yeah. So that's Sivuka, and he's playing a legendary model of accordion, which is called the Scandali Super 6. Yeah. Huh. Cool. Boom, boom. This part's pretty hard to do. Then they double time it. Okay, that is a good one to go out on for sure of our remembering Hermeto Pascoal. Thank you, Hermeto, wherever you are in the universe and galaxy, the spirit. You're just a wonderful energy. I mean, just this very expanding creative. There's so much stuff. Like there's a recording that he there's a piece that he like squeezes a little piglet, I think, and he doesn't do it in a mean way or anything like that. But the piglet oinks, I think, and then there's another recording with Aline that let me see if I can find that one really quick, just because it's pretty fun. See if I can find it. I don't remember the name of it. This is for a few years ago, but Hermeto is a huge name if you're into Brazilian jazz. Aline, see if I can find the track. It's not this one. This one is so cool. This one is so cool. That's the same tune. Sorry. There's one that uses these little toys. It's on this same. That's the one. Okay. Shimaro. That's the same tune. Sorry guys. We're gonna go out on this last one. I just gotta find it here. The record is called. Okay. If we can find I'll just go song by song. I really don't remember. None of these even look like familiar. It's not that one. I feel like it opens with no. I'll find it. Is it the Shochi? It opens with like these toy animal noises. I might not find it. This has got to be so annoying to you guys. I apologize. They're such cool melodies. I don't know which one it is. It's not this one. All right. Okay. I'm not just going to look around the whole time. Sorry. All right. So, give me 1 minute to put this lead sheet on and switch gears, but that's a fun remembrance of Hermeto. I just need to send this over to the old iPad and then open the iPad on the stream. And then we're going to minor 5 Pennsylvania Polka. Why? Well, it seemed like more of an interesting idea when I was constructing this whole month of September being Polka Month. I was going to talk about Mexican polkas and then have Jamie and Gabe on to talk about how polka and fajol are very related. And there we go. But I didn't do that stuff. So seems less like it makes less sense. But it is an idea that I've had for a long time, to minor 5 Pennsylvania polka, because because sometimes like yelling Freebird, when somebody that's a classic drunk bro thing to yell. And it's kind of annoying. It's not really funny, but it's not hurtful. It's just kind of, okay, all right, okay, dude. And sometimes people like play a polka. It's like, well, I don't really do that. But I thought it would be kind of fun to like minor 5 Pennsylvania polka. And I don't know if it's going to work. I never got around to doing it, but I thought that would be kind of cool. I live in Pennsylvania. I moved to Pennsylvania when I was 22. And I have moved away a couple times, but just moved right back. I know from being gone, coming back to Pennsylvania, feels like home. Sure is. And and this is the polka for it's the Phillies theme song, isn't it? Okay, what do I need to do? I don't need to do that. I know what I need to do. Okay, we're almost there, folks. Where's QuickTime Player? I updated my Mac. Did anybody update their operating systems? Is anybody on Tahoe on their Mac or the newest operating systems on their phone? There we go. Okay, we've got it, folks. Final. The final countdown. Final countdown. There we go. Minor 5. Window. QuickTime. There we go. All right. That looks pretty good. You can kind of see it, and I can... Should I rotate it? Might not even rotate. I got the orientation lock on. Okay. If I rotate it, yeah, that's better. That's way better. Okay. All right, and I should be able to mark it up. So if we're gonna minorify it, we got to do a couple things. First of all the 1 chords and the 4 chords, the 1s and the 4s, we want to make minor. And we could do that like intellectually. We could also do it kind of with our ears. I don't know. I think I was looking at some old charts. I think Frankie Yankovic, who has a very famous version of this, does it in E flat. Bo-da-ba-bum. I think they do that. Bum, bum. Do they do that? I don't know if they do that, but how's that sound, everybody? Is that all right? It probably does not sound the greatest because I'm having a little issue with the jack on this harmonic microphone system, so I can't plug in. When I do, I'm going to talk about this amazing airlock that I hope is amazing. It's pretty cool. Hopefully, I'll have all this fixed by the next stream that I see you on. But this is a wireless system that I hope is going to make my life so much better. Anyway, so I was just throwing in block chords. You probably want to see my hands. Well, you might not want to. But you might want to. Get this together. Someday I'll have an intern. Just kidding. Probably I won't ever have an intern. But, there, you can... what's more important? Let me turn off my name as well. Nomad Farmer, what's happening? You're there. All right, I'm going to turn off my name so you can see the accordion a little better. Goodbye. All right. So, I have never transcribed polka. I don't even know any by heart. I should. I really should. But, you know, the overlap, Joey Misculin, all those cats, you know, they're jazz players, swing players. So I'm just throwing block chords in there. Now, we haven't minorified it yet, but this is just... And this is just... There's the melody is the 9, and it's a dominant chord, so play a jazz chord. You can play Tuesday. I wanted to do a harmonizing. Dang it, left hand. There we go. And then I think it changes. I'm not playing this right. Sorry, guys. And then do we go back to the top? Is that the whole thing? Well, regardless, we'll work on the A section. So the things we need to do here is we need to take these. I gotta have my face in here though, so can't have it all. There we go. We're on iPad. I use something everybody can see. So we're gonna make all, like, this is the one chord. So all the Fs, this version is in the key of F. So all the Fs are the one chord. So we gotta make those all minor, or most of them. So minor 1, that's a 5 chord, that can stay. 5 chord, so F minor, and it doesn't really go, let's see, it goes with the 4. So this is the 4 chord. So in a major key, usually the 1 and the 4 are major. In a minor key, usually the 1 and the 4 are minor. So I'm gonna make that minor. And then the other thing is, all the thirds, all the things that are the third of the chord, all these A's should be A flats. That's good. All the E's can stay as E natural. So here we go. Just like that, and just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna try this melody now. That doesn't, okay. So that's too happy, right? To me. Do you guys hear that? That D natural? I think it should be. Yeah, now that sounds more sinister. Oh no! Oh no, you guys. My Apple Pencil just slipped out of my hand, rolled all the way back behind everything, and I have the accordion on. Oh my gosh, so I gotta take it off. Give me a second. Oh boy. It's like wearing a microwave on your chest, having the accordion on. Oh boy. Found it. Okay, there it is. All right. Beep, beep. By the way, definitely gonna have a Halloween special episode. Everybody wear your costumes. I'll wear a costume for the Halloween episode. I'm not sure if we should just have like one Halloween episode where we listen to spooky music, or like another Halloween episode where we talk about spookifying things, which this would kind of count as. So maybe this is an early Halloween spooktacular episode. What's wrong? What did I do? Now the backstrap's fitting all weird. Anyways, all right, there we go. Let me see the chat. Anything new in the chat? Do. Okay. La poopy bum fa fa fum. I like that. Yeah, it's kind of Munsters-y. This is like the Munsters go to like a Oktoberfest thing. Yeah. How are we gonna do that? Oh, it takes a little zhuzhing. I'm gonna talk about this in a little second. You know, you can't just use a formula and then that's it. You know, like with anything, the formula will help, but knowing you gotta flat all the thirds and change the 1 chords and the 4 chords, but you still gotta use your ears because some things need to be changed. Now, I'll use my 2 middle. Nah, I like the bassoon better. That's a good one. La dee dee dum. Right here. Dum dee dee do. I don't know what's up with these. That's weird. That E flat. I'm not sure what's up with that. These diminished are okay, but it's more like secondary dominants that are missing. Okay. Yeah. No, I need to mark the flats here. Yeah. Now, let's see. I'm trying to decide right here if that should be, hang on. Let me adjust this so you guys can see both my face and where the keyboard is actually at. Will that work? Almost. We're working on the home studio here, folks. The microphone out of my way. Oh, well, you need the microphone to hear the accordion. Oh, boy. Ah, jeez. Okay, so let's say it's here. I gotta play it on the clarinet. All right, and then we have... What's the end of this? See, is that interesting? The 6 and the 7 and the 3rd. Those are the three big ones that we like give us this feeling of major quality. So, let's see. Up here, uncircle that. Come down to here, and like this phrase right here. So that one only has this the 6 of the scale. So if you go do re mi 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1. My little spiel when talking about minor keys to all my students is there's many different kinds of minor scales. You've got natural minor, Dorian minor, melodic minor classical, then you have melodic minor jazz, you have harmonic minor. You've got Dorian is a minor scale. That's what, 5 that I just named. And they all have the same first 5 notes, which is just like the notes of the major scale, except for you flat the 3rd. So in this case, it's F, F, G, A, That would be the major scale. And then we're going to flat it. We're going to flat the third. And now you have the first 5. So they all have the same first 5. And then depending on the kind of minor scale, that's what the 6th and 7th notes are going to be. So if you have a natural, you've got, who knows? Does anyone know? Can anyone put it in the chat? Let's see. Play at home. There are no prizes except for thumbs up from me. Let's see. I'll wait. While I'm waiting, Nomad Farmer says that they were their first band they were in was a goth industrial band. That sounds very Trent Reznor. It's pegging you to a certain era, Nomad Farmer. And they say that they'd play slow, creepy minor renditions of things like Bicycle Built for Two to cover for the guitar tuning. Wait. Oh, like while the guitar players were tuning their guitars, you were playing a minor version of Bicycle Built for Two. That is super fun. I love that. Humor in music is a good thing. It's a good thing. So often, music is so serious. So serious. Okay, nobody answering. So if we did this, that's the melodic minor scale. And it's either, if you go down the same way, it's the jazz melodic minor scale. If you, if that's only up, then it's the classical melodic minor scale, which changes. If you keep the natural 6th and flat the 7th, you have the, let's see, let me keep this readable and simple over here. Does anyone know what scale that is? 3, 2, 1? No, it's the Dorian scale. Dorian, melodic, minor. My penmanship sucks. Here's the Dorian scale. Okay, melodic minor. So fun to sing them. Ba, bum. So sing. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. It's going to be the same do, re, mi, fa, sol. Sing with me. Ready, go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So that's a natural la. La, ti, do. Let's sing it back down. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. That's melodic minor. The jazz melodic minor, which is the same up and down. Dorian, let's sing that. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do. So you got to make T into te, which means it's lowered. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do. And it's the same up and down. Do, te, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Okay. Now, if you flat the 6th but make the 7th natural, you have the, does anybody know? Harmonic minor. That's right. You knew it. Harmonic minor scale. So that's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And that is really fun. It has so much character. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, le, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Can you tell I've been working on my singing? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, le, sol, fa, mi, re, do. That one's cool. If you start on a mode of that. So much fun. You get into many different sounds. Maybe some Arabic music, where they call that scale. This one. Hijaz. Klezmer music calls the same scale. Fregish. And Balkan, I ask Balkan musicians if they have a name for it. I don't think they do. I think maybe they call it Fregish. I'm not sure. But and jazz has a name for the scale. They call it Phrygian dominant, which a funny student of mine said refrigerator dominant. Okay, so we have one more scale essentially to sing, and that's where we have the 6th flatted and the 7th flatted. Let's see. Let me make that look like a D and not a B. Because the 6th... Okay, and that one is called Natural minor. Natural, because it's the same as the major scale. No, not that one. This one. No, I was right. I was right. It's A flat major scale, but starting on F. Okay, and this one, if when you sing it, it really sounds very like Gregorian chant. Sounds very medieval or Renaissance music. So we sing all the same first 5 notes. Do, re, me, not me, but me. Me, fa, sol, le, te, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, le, te, do. I almost sang T. Te, do, te, le, sol, fa, me, re, do. And the hood and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So these are 4 different minor scales here. There's a 5th one that I mentioned, which is just classical melodic minor, which goes up like the first scale I have written and down like the last scale. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, te, le, sol, fa, me, re, do. So you sing T or la. Let's see. Do, sol, la. There's la, ti, do. But you sing down te, le. I was a little sharp on my lay. So anyways, it goes down differently. I don't really know. I don't know that much about that scale, but in practice, you end up using a mixture of them. And when you're minorifying a song, you may find situations where you want to use, like, it's better to use the natural 6th, it's better to use the natural 7, or it's better to use the flat 6 or the flat 7. And all those are cool, and you just have to, let your ear decide what's the best way to do it. Let's see. So I'm just trying to write all this stuff in. One place that we definitely want to use the natural 7, because it's a leading tone. And I played the 5 chord, the C7. Is whenever you have the C7. So when you have the C7 as the melody, you don't want to change that to an E flat. That would sound weird. It doesn't, it's weird. Let's try it. Maybe it'll be cool. You never know. It doesn't work. Either way, it doesn't work. It's got to be a dominant sound for this tune. So all of these I'm going to mark as naturals just so we know. Just so we know. Keep those here and here. We're down here now. Move the page. Come on. It won't let me. Da 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 ba ba. Here it gets okay. So here is. Let me erase this purple. We don't need that purple. I'm doing this all on Fourscore, by the way, which is I think it's the most commonly used sheet music app for the iPad that I know of. Every musician that does this uses Fourscore that I know. I don't love the program. There's a lot of stuff it should be able to do that it doesn't, and I don't know why not. If it's like a legal thing or what. But anyway, okay, so this part of the melody right here gets a little weird because if I played it in the major key. So you have 6. That's so pretty. So how are we going to do that? Because if I'm flatting all the Ds here, then this needs to be flat. And then I just really got to change this is what's up. So that's going to be a flat. So is that. And then this is the same note. It's just spelled differently. Same note spelled differently. So what I need to do here is I need to like make that a natural. So I'll just kind of do that. Paint over that with white. Okay, so then we're back to a flat. And then this should probably be like an E natural. Or maybe an E flat. Actually, that would work. Actually. The D sharp would work. Let's hear. Oh yeah, that sounds good. That almost sounds like a harmonic minor scale. Right? It's like a half step leading tone to the leading tone. Oh, so good. All right. Bam. And bam. We love it. And I guess it stays here. Like my musical intuition, my harmonic intuition wants to go back to F minor there, but according to this chart it doesn't, and I don't really know. If you guys know the tune, let me know. Because if you know the tune, you know it better than I do. I don't know this tune. I feel like, you know who might enjoy this is Guy Klusevsek, which reminds me, this reminds me of Guy Klusevsek because he also had a wonderful sense of humor in accordance with his amazing, prolific creation. And his wife sent me an email asking if I would like to play for a remembrance concert at Roulette next spring or like late winter, early spring in Brooklyn. So just in a few months. And I said, yeah, of course, it would be my honor. So I'm coming up with some things, and she contacted me about maybe playing in an ensemble, which I would absolutely love to do, playing some of Guy's music. So that's really exciting. I'll let you guys know in case you're in the area and want to come to that concert. Okay. That doesn't work for me. Let me play it in the major key and see if the harmonic motion works. Because am I doing this wrong? Like, should this, you guys, I might have to look at another chart. Should this measure be back to F minor? It really feels like it should be. Let's see. Anne would know if you're still on the stream, Anne. Doesn't that feel like it? It's so cool. What would it sound like as a tarantella? It doesn't have enough syncopation in it. Let's see. I gotta, I wish you guys could hear my left hand better because I'm pretty happy with the cool stuff I'm doing. I'll write some of that out too. But now you can't. All right. Yeah. That's fun. Gonna put on the Yeah, thanks, Ann. I appreciate you giving it a listen. Well, maybe I'll just find another chart then, real quick. Just to check this. Because it sounds, to me it sounds like, well, here, let's listen to a recording of it then. Pennsylvania Polka. I think you guys will be able to hear this. Even the autofill in my browser is Pennsylvania Lottery, just in case anybody wanted. All right, here's, we'll listen to the Lawrence Welk's version. E flat.
Strike up the music, the band is begun. Pennsylvania Polka. Pick out your partner and join in the fun. Pennsylvania Polka. It started, it's great, it's now number one. It's down to letter T.
All right.
Everybody has a million.
Yeah. Okay. It does. It does go back to the one. So it's from the 4 to the 5 or to the 6. Okay. Now, all right. So you guys are still doing that. Okay, so in the key of F, which is easier for me to play, and it's also the melodies written out here. So yes, so this does, this chart is wrong, as are so many charts that we find for free online. So, and that's okay, because you get what you pay for. Yeah, and then these are going to be flats. La. That's fun. That one's fun too. That's kind of fun too. So there, creepify it even more by, instead of a G natural, so this is a flat 6, and now we're going a little bit further than minoring. We're actually kind of creepifying it. All right, that is the theme to Knight Rider, or something like that. Okay. So then, all right. So we've got this pretty much the A section. So left-hand stuff that I am doing that I could do. See if you guys hear this. One of the things that I love to do is to use the natural 6th on a minor chord as a bass note possibility. So there's the root, so F bass and F minor, and C bass and C minor, F minor. Your basic alternating bass. Then the next one is to get the minor 3rd as an option. So much more color there. Same for the dominant chords. So for C7, you have C and G as your basses, and grab the 3rd, major 3rd, over your dominant. So I'm going C, G, E, G, C, G, E, C, E, G, E, F. Okay, so that kind of fun stuff. Walking down to the sixth. So on the F minor, you could use that natural sixth, which is a D natural in the counterbass of the B flat major column. So my hand is over F minor, but I'm going to reach my bass finger. I'm using fourth finger here. You might use third. Either are good. To grab the D natural with an F minor bass or F minor chord. So D bass with F minor chord. And that is so dissonant and funky and still musical. It does not break the harmony at all. Right? So combinations of that. Then sometimes I can use a C7 as a passing chord. There's the C7, but I'm going to use G as the bass. So the bass line is going F, G, A flat, G, A flat. And so that with the F I have an F minor, F and F minor. With the G I have a C7. So I'm using my third finger on the G and my index finger on the C7. And then on the A flat, I'm using F minor again. So it's like this little passing chord. So F minor, C7, F minor. That's a little arranging thing that we can do. So simple, or I could put that passing chord in there. That's so cool, right? Can you hear that? So I'm just going F and C7 with a G and F minor with an A flat. I'm back to C7 with a G. And I could do that I did kind of slow, or it moved every bar. So if I wanted to keep the polka time, polka, polka, oompa, oompa. And really, I want to use the master switch because it doesn't have enough oomph for me. Or I could do it in quarters. It's a little hard. Okay, so. And then when I get to this long stretch as a C7, we can do these descending, walking. And that's kind of the reverse. So there, in that case, you're playing C as a bass with C7, B flat as a bass with C7, which I do with my pinky. And then the F minor chord becomes a passing chord in between the C7s. Before we use the C7 as a passing chord in between the F minors. In this case, we're going to use the F minor as a passing chord between the C7s. I'll write all this in a second. Okay, so the descending. Let's see. It doesn't work there. Let's see. I gotta find out where it will work. Maybe it'll work. Let's see. I hear some stuff that I can't quite get. I want the to move. Okay, so you gotta experiment. And the more you play this stuff, the more you like actively work on experimenting. So, I'm gonna put this here. So here's the C7s, C7, and then C7 over B flat, and then F minor over A flat, and then C7 over G. So it's going dum bum, C, B flat, A flat, G, and then back to the F again right here. F minor. Well, I don't need to write that in. It's there. So I'm thinking of this bass line, and then the note that the A flat is the only one that has an F minor chord. All the other ones are B flat. I could just keep C7 there the whole time. It's kind of a gnarly reach from A flat to C7, but you can do it. But to me, it sounds better with the F minor. Now let's get that walk up. Okay, so let's see. In this case, like my arranging sensibility is telling me not to put the cool walk up at the beginning, because that's too much. It's like too much information at the beginning. So at the beginning, I'm just gonna do kind of an alternating bass thing. So maybe I'll do now, that gets us halfway through the tune. So la ba da ba bum ba 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 bum ba bo ba bo bum. We need that walk up. Bo ba bo ba ba bo bum. And I'm harmonizing it. So the walk up is C D E F, either in a major key or in a minor key. Same notes. But I'm harmonizing it. That's so fun, right? E natural, F natural, G. Oh, that starts on beat 2 though. I'll write this in case you're watching. So I need a smaller. E natural, F, G, and then throw a little white out there, A flat, and that's with C, D, E natural, and F. There. And then we're here on these D flats. And start that walk down. All right, I like that. Dum bum bum bum. So then I did C7/G, F minor/A flat, and now we're gonna have the big long walk up. I think this will work, but it might not. This might be too dissonant against our C7 over G, but we'll try it. F minor over A flat. And back to F minor. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do over there. So ba that's a bum ba 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 bum bum ba bo ba bum bum ba dee bum ba 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 bum. That works, yeah. Okay, so this is the long walk up. This is the short walk up. This is the short walk down. That's just a really quick thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna write out the bass line here in case you think what I'm playing is cool and you want to know how to do it. So F minor, and then F minor with C as the bass, and then F minor with A flat as the bass, and then F minor with D. I'll write this out just so it's not confusing. As the bass. So F, C, A flat, D. And that's something I play all the time. On musettes. There's that C sharp in F or in E minor. Okay. My bad. And then here on the C7, you could play like C7 slash G, C7 slash E, C7 slash G, and then a B flat. Pretty cool. Ah. And songs of affair. um. That riff we will talk about on the spooky music episode. But there we have a minor-fied version of Pennsylvania Polka, which I wonder if I wasn't singing the lyrics and I was just playing it, I'm not confident like the normal layperson. Like if I was busking on the street and I didn't play any major version of Pennsylvania Polka and I didn't sing the lyrics to it, I wonder if people would recognize it for a couple reasons. One, it's sort of changed so much. And two, my style is kind of swinging anyways. This is like now becoming almost like a Django tune. What are the lyrics? Let's see. Let's find the lyrics here. Strike up the music, the band has begun. Strike up the music, the band has begun. The Pennsylvania Polka. Pick out your partner and join in the fun. Here's another question. I wonder, as an experiment, I wonder if I played this exactly like this, I didn't say anything, if people would even realize that it was in a minor key. Because the rhythm is the same, and the notes are close enough. Let's see. Anyways, all right, that's enough, and we're out of time. It's been 2 hours, so let me take off this old refrigerator, microwave, on my chest and say my goodbyes because I have a couple lessons I gotta teach. I got a little break and then a couple more students. All right, let me go back to the screen here. So that was fun. What's for next week? I'm gonna keep next week's schedule to Ed. Oh, nice, Ed. I just saw that. Try the treble side in fourths. Well, all right. Ed in the chat is saying I should try the treble side in fourths. So let me just do that. Just real quick. That's going to sound weird. Thank you, Ed, for the lovely and fun suggestion. Sorry, fake out guy. Let's see. It gets a little weird on the C7 chord, but it works. I mean, it's weird. I was doing these minor 6 chords here, Ed. Yeah. The Barry Harris or George Shearing. Diminished chords. And then on these, that's the diminished chords. Back to the minor 6. All right. Okay. Now, for real. Great to see you two guys, Ann and Birdie, and everybody watching. Okay, now I'm going to say goodbye. Very fun. Catch me next week, please, where we will be doing bellow shakes, which is also something I am not good at all. And so this is going to be I know we're going to check out some. We have talked about bellow shakes a little bit in the past. We're going to watch Tony Lavello's videos. We're going to check out Uwe, who has a cool bellow shake thing. I'm going to show a little bit of the Palmer Hughes bellow shake method, some other fair use copyrighted material, just a little tiny bit. And if you love it, you should go buy it from the publishers, of course. And just talk about like bellow shakes and all the fun things to do, because it's such a cool, like we saw Hermeto like do bellow shakes on the Stradella accordion in Vitor Gonçalves' video and on the button accordion. I mean, it's just like, it's a thing that the accordion can do that other instruments, well, on a guitar you can do this, but it's not the same. Anyways, it's a really, really cool technique. So next week will be about bellow shakes and how to even begin getting better at them. So come with relaxed shoulders, I will say. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Love yourself, love your friends, listen to lots of great music, be culture, be life, help your neighbors, stay healthy.